All right, this is my fourth recording of the most popular diets I see on the internet. So I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting today. It is one of those diets that I see and hear about all the time. I call it a buzzword, but I'm going to share the facts. My opinions are not relevant here. It's the facts. I'll share some opinions at the end. But intermittent fasting during time restricted eating, you can eat within an 8-hour window. For example, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 12 to 8. During the remaining 16 hours of the day, there's no food except for 0-calorie beverages. Okay. So we're saying eat in an 8-hour window, eat all your calories. Now, people I've talked to that have been successful with it, make sure they get enough calories in that 8-hour window. I will also say that my grandfather used to do something similar to this. He had 3 square meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They just have to be 8 hours apart. Went to dinner, went to bed. So, we'll talk more about my opinions here. Intermittent fasting 5.2 format is when 2 non consecutive days of the week are spent fasting, basically consuming around 500 calories per day. The remaining 5 days a week, you can eat your regular diet. Now, when I do see people do this, I recommend they eat breakfast on the first day, skip the rest of the day, and have dinner on the last day. So they're not totally starving. But this is tough to do. There's been a lot of research that concludes that you may lose weight on these types of diets. However, it is still not understood if the benefits occur because restricted calories, and personally, my guess is actually from USA Today, or because you're eating for long periods of time, not eating for long periods of time. And whether or not it's sustainable for the long haul remains an equal question. So my experience and opinions, okay? So I'm serious, hundreds of people that have tried, done, or think they're doing intermittent fasting. And it's become a buzzword. There's no denying that. But think of it as we don't want to starve ourselves. We need calories. Now, the people I have seen successful at it will do an 8 to 10 hour window, but they plan their meals and their calories and consume enough. Generally, they get the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they don't eat late at night. When I do my low carb program, I advocate for not eating late at night. In my case, I generally eat breakfast at 5 in the morning, and my last meals of the day are generally 3 or 4 in the afternoon, just because I don't need to eat late at night. Late at night, that food gets stored. So, if we plan our meals properly and we don't do late night eating and we get enough calories in when we should, you know, we're kind of doing intermittent fasting anyway. We're just not using that buzzword. Say my grandfather got up at 5 in the morning, had breakfast, took lunch with the factory, and dinner was on the table when he got home. Nowadays, we use that buzzword fasting. So to sum it up, we want to keep those calories in that window. We don't want to stack late at night. But long fast, I will tell you that, now that we have advanced scales in the gyms, body weight scales and things like that, I see those advanced scales showing a lot of muscle loss during long-term fasting or too much fasting, cortisol effects, and people tend to use this diet as an excuse to skip breakfast and lunch, then eat late at night and think they're calling it fasting. That's my summary on it.